At fullback is Cronulla's David Peachey. In recent seasons, Peachey has emerged as one of the most exciting attacking players in the game. Number 2 is the Canberra Flyer, Ken Nagus. Given any room to move, Nagus could be a match winner. 3 is Andrew Eddinghausen, the veteran of the Blues backline. Tonight he'll line up against one of his Sharks proteges, Jeff Bell. ET centre partner is Penrith's Ryan Girdler. Girdler makes his debut with the added responsibility of being the team goal kicker. Number 5 is the Bulldogs' Matt Ryan. Tonight is a big chance for Ryan, whose progress has been hampered by injuries in recent seasons. Captain and number 6 is Laurie Daly, one of the game's modern-day champions. Daly looms as the biggest danger to any hopes Queensland hold of victory. Number 7 is Penrith playmaker Greg Alexander. Tonight marks the second coming to representative football of the player they call Brandy. The lock is the Raiders' David Furner. A damaging runner, Furner has been the mainstay of the Canberra pack. Number 12 is Canterbury's Simon Gillies. The Bulldogs skipper is a player capable of causing the Queensland defence plenty of trouble. Number 11 is Sharks' young gun Sean Ryan. Earmarked as a future international, tonight Ryan faces his biggest assignment. Number 10 is Perth powerhouse Rodney Howe. Admired by his peers, many believe Howe's entry to representative football is long overdue. The Super League Blues hooker is 18-year-old Craig Gower. This budding champion has been given the opportunity of a lifetime after just a handful of games in the front row. And leading the Super League Blues pack is Glenn Lazarus. Still regarded as the best prop in the game, the big fella will show no mercy when he clashes head-on with his Bronco teammates. On the bench for New South Wales is Mariners halfback Noel Goldthorpe. Number 15 is Goldthorpe's Hunter teammate Robbie Ross. 16 is Bulldogs tearaway Solomon Hamono. If the Super League Blues are looking for impact off the bench, they have the right man. Completing the squad is Penrith's Matt Adamson. And at the helm for the Super League Blues is Tim Sheen, one of the most successful coaches of the modern era. Number 1 is the Reds' Julian O'Neill. A new club and a newfound determination has O'Neill playing the best football of his career. 2 is Broncos superstar Wendell Sailor. As gifted as any player in the game, Sailor represents danger whenever the ball comes his way. Number 3 is the speedster Steve Renouf. A renowned game breaker, Renouf has the ability to penetrate even the best of defences. Renouf's centre partner is Cronulla's Jeff Bell. A newcomer to representative football, Bell's mission could well be to shut down Sharks teammate Andrew Eddinghausen. Number 5 is Matt Rogers. Speed remains the greatest asset in rugby league, and in Rogers, Queensland has one of the game's true flyers. Wearing the number 6 is Kevin Walters. Still a dominant figure in Queensland football, there are few prouder Maroons than this wily Bronco. Halfback and captain of the Super League Maroons is Alan Langer. He ranks as one of the current greats. You can be sure Alfie will play a starring role. Number 13 is another Bronco, Darren Smith. A valuable member of the Brisbane side. Smith has been one of the standouts in his team's unbeaten start to 1990. 12 is the Cowboys' back rower, Owen Cunningham. OJ thrives on hard work and he'll add plenty of starts to the Queensland defences. Cunningham's second row partner is Gordon Tallis. This raging bull has waited a long time for another chance in a Queensland. To the front row, number 10 is Andrew G. For many seasons a permanent member of the Broncos' top-grade pack. He's no stranger to state football. Number 9 is Steve Walters, still one of the game's elite players. Walters has been the cornerstone of many Queensland forward packs. And number 8 for the Super League Maroons is the explosive Brad Thorne. Expect plenty of crunching defence from this young front rower. On the Super League Maroons bench is Broncos enforcer Peter Ryan. Number 15 is Cronulla half Paul Green. 16 is another Shark, Chris McKenna. And number 17, young Brisbane tyro Shane Webke. The Queensland coach is Wayne Bennett. Twice Bennett has won titles with the Broncos. A victory with Queensland would be just as special. The New South Wales side leaving the dressing rooms behind their captain Laurie Daly and making their way out now onto the Sydney Football Stadium, which has been bathed in entertainment. The opening match of the Super League's Tri-Series in its inaugural year. And as I mentioned earlier on, Noel Goldthorpe down there, he could prove a very important player. Undoubtedly he will, but in the absence of Greg Alexander, should he go amiss, then Noel is really going to become an ace in the pack. So the Blues go out, met by their home crowd, and now the Queenslanders. 10 Broncos. And of course, in amongst them, some outstanding talent outside the Broncos camp, including young Matt Rogers. Alan Langer takes the Queenslanders out and met by the normal reception from a New South Wales crowd. Sydney Football Stadium beautifully prepared for what will be a busy night. Talking of that, football all over the place in the Moore Park area and chaotic conditions. Ryan Girdler and Glenn Lazarus in high spirits. Darren Smith adjusts his headgear, having a tremendous season. That young man's dad played in the first Origin game back in 1980. Played alongside this fellow in club football. And Julian O'Neill, who's having a big year with the Perth Reds. Randy Alexander. Bill Harrigan. And with the whistle. So it's the Blues running from right to left. Tri-Series match 1. And Brad Thorne it is that brings it back for the Queenslanders. Just a few metres inside the 20-metre line, Andrew G. Put away right on that line, just inside the red zone. Cunningham from the Cowboys. Steve Walters likewise. And just beyond the 30-metre line, fourth tackle, first set of 6. And Thorne puts his shoulder down for the second time. 40-metre line for the kick. And O'Neill it is that drives it way down the park. Nothing flash, he was looking for distance, looking for field position. And Peachy, his kick return was good. 27 metres out from their own line. And now the New South Wales side. They get a touch. Rodney Howe. And now Lazo. When Lazarus crosses the halfway. A couple of very good hit-ups there by the New South Wales front row forwards. Sean Ryan. Gower, a dummy half. Alexander on. Daly with it. Crosses halfway. And that's Simon Gillies, who plays it 35 metres away from the Queensland line. Alexander goes to the air. First bomb of the game. Nagas spins it. Alexander pushes it. Daly puts the hand out, didn't touch it. Peachy to the air again. Puts the ball onside. Knocked on by Queensland.
Brad Thorne coming up with the mistake there. Very composed work from the Blues. Running the football. Good take from Nagas. He realised he had to keep the ball alive. Eventually David Peachy put up a good kick. At the end of it, the mistake made by the Maroons. So tremendous attacking opportunity early in this game for the home side.
And New South Wales then with a great opportunity early. Girdler, centre of the ground, inside the red zone. David Furner in 13. Alexander, infield ball for Lazarus. The line is about 5 metres away. Away from Gower, through Alexander, on the bounce for Girdler. Teammate to teammate, he's put away 10 metres out. And then from Nagas. into the hands of Daly and across for the running Rodney Howe. This is the last. Alexander wanting it. Puts the kick in, high, across. Time for the runners. The bat down. Queensland have got it. Knocked forward by the Blues. He's taking them out to the 20.
Well, how close was Andrew Eddinghausen to catching this one on the fall and planting it down? A great kick again from Greg Alexander, peppering the try line. Eddinghausen flies high. In fact, it was Peachy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one thing the Queensland side aren't doing now, Sterlo, is actually going for the ball once it's in the air.
So Queensland then bring it back away from the danger zone. They were peppered by New South Wales. Cunningham playing it, and then it's Walters, first receiver. Darren Smith running off the pivot is put down on the halfway line. Langer waiting for it, takes it on the right of the ground, then runs 45 degrees into space, looking for support as he goes back to the centre. Tackle number 5, Tallis throws the pass, had a question mark, Walters away, Darren Smith floats it, that look to go forward. Harrigan is calling it up, forward pass.
Well, that was atrocious defence there, and David Furner, the man responsible to allow Alan Langer to run into open space, overread the situation, especially with Alan Langer. The most dangerous man on the field is the man with the football, and when he's got it, you're not worrying about where his support players are.
Rodney Howe, that's his third hit up of the game, and they've all been full of quality. And after him comes Lazarus, and then Gower down the blind side, a fairly wide blind for Sean Ryan. Incredible story surrounding him. 3 shoulder reconstructions since 1993. And I think he's missed almost 2 years of football in that 4-year period. Here he is playing in a blue jumper. His dream comes true tonight as Alexander puts the kick in. Down 12 metres away from the Queensland line. O'Neill brings it back. Taken around the top there by Gillies. Just a suspect tackle. It might have shaken O'Neill up a little bit. It did. He's very groggy. As Smith it is, who brings it away just beyond the 30. It wasn't him, but in fact Jeff Bell. This is Wendell Saylor. Walters rushes into dummy half. Langer folds back to halfback, first receiver, and then away to Kevin Walters, and then on to Darren Smith. He lost it. Knock on. Good pressure brought on by Laurie Daly's defence.
Great way for Walter there to get up in the face of the opposition players as quickly as possible. Just trying to get rid of that ball the last second. Coming up with a knock on there at Darren Smith.
The Maroons in the headgear, Renouf, Darren Smith, Jeff Bell. New South Wales then with Alexander. He seems to be running quite freely. Eddinghausen gets his first touch of the ball, and then he's banged down 30 metres away from the Queensland line. Daly, it came off the shoulder of Furner. Oh, Girdler took a heavy hit. 25 out, the New South Wales kicker, Gillies. Now to the 20-metre line. Again, the Blues mount some pressure on the Maroons. How's he going early? Gower then to the right. Long ball for Daly. The captain away for Ryan. Out wide. 9 out from the line. 5 gone. The kick will come. Alexander, the grubber kick. Then he was taken out of it. There's a race for it. Harrigan's looking at it. He's given it. Harrigan's awarded a try to Simon Gillies.
Was it Gillies or is it Peachy?
I don't know, but he's given a try.
There's a massive bodies there. David Peachy seems to be the most animated, and he's come from the clouds. Got a checkered run with Alexander, and then Peachy dives in low. I think the fullback's got his hands to the football. He knows that he has.
Yeah, great work by Greg Alexander here to go the line, to put it on the ground, and just find him behind him, just to see on the left-hand side of the screen is Davey Peachy. Goes down low and picks it up. Takes it over the line.
No drama with that. Tell you what, it was lethargic from Queensland in defence though, and look at the young debutant fullback. He's having a brilliant year, and he's started his State of Origin, or his tri-series season, with a try. Great work for David Peachy.
I think Ryan Girdler would be pretty happy that his first kick of goal is right in front. 8 from 8 last week. He's the leading point scorer in Super League with 64 points, averaging over 10 a game. He won't have too many problems with this one.
Girdler, another of the youngsters in the blue jumper for the first time. The full complement is there. 6-0 the Blues.
Just have a look where David Peachey comes from as Greg Alexander runs the ball to the line. He frees it there. That's Peachey. He's the try scorer. The player's trying to get back. That's Owen Cunningham. He doesn't have the speed. And Jeff Bell, he was one of the lethargic players that Ray Warren was talking about. He didn't get down on the ball at all.
So, Queensland, they come back. New South Wales having the better of the opening 8 minutes. One clean break for Alan Langer, but other than that, all the pressure has been down on the main scoreboard end of the ground. Langer unloads for Tallis to go down the right side where Langer made his break earlier. Halfway line, 6-0. After 9 minutes of play, New South Wales over Queensland. Steve Walters, here's the call on the blind. Langer driving it down. Ball rolling away into the in goal. Peachey has to bring it back. Nagus is with him. Peachey would be on a high now. Then Girdler and now Nagus. Nagus running. It's Smith on the edge of the ruck. Gets some help from Andrew G. Rodney Howe. They have built their attack on the back of Howe, Lazarus, and then Ryan.
That's one thing Rodney Howe does so well for his side, his club side, is take the ball forward, 100 mile an hour.
Darryl Eastlake on the sidelines.
Yeah, Rab, you've mentioned Langer. I mean, we've seen that clean break he made. He's really hustling his boys up. He's having a lot to say in play. But Greg Alexander, we were worried about that bone in his foot. But the two veteran halfbacks up, turning it on.
Well, it's certainly it's aroused a lot of excitement around the ground as Matt Rogers is away from 1 and 2 through an opening. Great run by Matt Rogers, taking a 28 out from his own line. Good quick passing by the Queenslanders. Tallis and Saylor. Saylor doing the stepping. His progress halted 8 metres from the halfway. Walters then for Ford. And Howe launches himself. Burner comes underneath. And that is the halfway line. And then from Walters a second man play. Cunningham. Just a little bit brittle on the side of the ruck. New South Wales. Tallis' pass to Bell goes to ground. The advantage applies.
It was just a little play, but an important one from Glenn Lazarus. And Owen Cunningham made half a bust. He tried to get his arms free to apply Kevin Walters, but Glenn Lazarus, covering as he always does, got between ball carrier and the intended receiver.
There's Howe again. Former Nova Castria missed tackles high for New South Wales. Alexander unloads for Gillies. Now Gower, and away for Alexander. He's busy, he's keen. And then Daly and Ryan. And Ryan dummies on the outside to Eddinghausen. Takes the tackle. Daly puts it on the right boot. The kick is going down into the in goal. O'Neill shadows it. And it'll come back for the 20-metre restart. At the 12th minute, New South Wales, a try to Peachey, converted by Girdler. And they lead 6-0 over Queensland. Try Series 1. Good atmosphere. There's Andrew G. Lumbers 5 metres upfield. Brad Thorne has had a lot of work to do. He put a fin down in the face of Simon Gillies and got rid of the Canterbury captain. And now Saylor is across the 40-metre line and still not held. Now he'll be forced to play it, but it took 4 New South Welshmen to bring him to a halt. Steve Walters coming down the blind as Tallis. Gordon Tallis again taking the respect of a couple of New South Welshmen with him.
And that's the danger of Wendell Sailor. Attracting 4 players means that he's taking people out of the defensive line. Slip there by Owen Cunningham, now the last. Langer out of dummy half, drives it in behind Nagus. This is going to be a pretty good kick if the Chasers get there in time.
Nagus then is not going to make it back. Saw something similar from him in Canberra on Monday night. There doesn't seem to be a great deal of urgency in getting back for that ball in the end goal.
He certainly did take his time to get back, but he's met by Queensland defence. He has 4 or 5 players that all turn up there, and there's no chance that Nagus was going to make the field of play. Like you said, with a little more enthusiasm, he probably would have got there.
It's a really big play, isn't it? That changes the course of the game. All of a sudden, instead of New South Wales working out off their own line, all of a sudden another set of 6 of them put them arranging good field position. It's going to be tough. It's a good one, 55 on the fly, straight to Matt Rogers.
Beautiful kick by Alexander, but Queensland now, it's their turn. Thorne is 35 out from the line. Steve Walters, they're coming down the centre of the park. Andrew G, as they start to mount the basis for what will be the culmination of this attacking raid. The ball finishing up with Sailor. It took a little bit of time in getting there. He's just outside the 10-metre line. They're deep inside the red zone and away wide where it's Langer turning it back on the inside. And that is Cunningham. As Walters puts on the dummy. Dummied inside for Tallis, who's looking on the outside. The last tackle is there as Langer unloads a short ball for Smith. That will be the turnover. Nothing really eventuated for Queensland.
No, but Alan Langer could sniff a little bit of brittleness in the New South Wales defence there. He threw the short ball to Darren Smith, but it closed quickly. They covered well, New South Wales there. They didn't have numbers, but they scrambled very effectively.
This man has been quite outstanding with his hit-ups. Talking about how former Nova Castrian, Newcastle Knights, then the Perth Reds, as Gillies now puts the head down, puts the hand out, then flicks a pass down for Peachy. Langer was aware of Peachy's ability, put him away quickly. Daly basketballs it down, Lazarus, Alexander, then Gower. What is he, 18 years of age, is he? Big night for him. He'd be feeling the pace of the game, though. Alexander then to the air. It'll come down inside the 20-metre zone. And Nagus it was who got a hand to it. So Queensland come away with O'Neill.
Once again, you see Queensland not really go for the ball whatsoever once it's in the air. New South Wales got the ball back.
Sean Ryan it is going inside the 30. One-on-one, the ball was taken away from Julian O'Neill. The Blues are back on the 20-metre line. Back and across for Howe again. Looked back, looking for a runner. Took it to ground. Peachy the dummy half. Alexander the ball runner. Then unloads. Daly on the right of the ground. Ryan is with it. Ryan picked up and driven down by the road. Then Gower a one-handed pickup. He slides inside the 10. They're 7 metres out, leading 6-0. The Blues with Alexander. A long pass, beautifully directed. Girdler down, up again, gets a pass away. Alexander will score. Greg Alexander.
And if there's anybody deserving of a try at the moment for New South Wales, it's the maestro pulling the strings, Greg Alexander. Tremendous work from Ryan Girdler to beat his man and stay alive. Gordon Tallis being spoken to about an incident on the try scorer. Bill Harrigan, just a swinging arm there against Gordon Tallis. Pretty big lead now for the Blues.
This was the turnover where the ball in the tackle came away from O'Neill. And it was from there that the try was laid on. They had him, lost him, and he still had time to recover and put Alexander over. Then Tallis comes over the top.
And you see Greg Alexander throwing the long ball to Ryan Girdler. A little bit unlucky that he did slip because it would have been a straight run. He's quicker there, but he does great here to get up as quickly as he does and hold off Wendell Sailor. But the big play really is from Alexander backing up on the inside. It's just a quick step to the try line here. Gordon Tallis just coming over the top there. I don't think there was anything really intentional in the tackle. Eric's head ended up in Gordon Tallis' arm.
So Ryan Girdler, 25 metres out, is about 8 metres in from touch. His team in front 10-0. He struck it beautifully, as straight as a dart. And the Blues leading by 2 converted tries.
Queensland centre Jeff Bell finding out what state football is all about. Nearly gets on the outside, Ryan Girdler. And as he gets back up, gets on the outside, as we freeze play there, you can see this Queensland defence on the inside really in no urgency to come across and cover, and that's where the try scorer was able to slide through.
Queensland doing it again. Bulldogging their way away from the danger zone. As they were at the 8th minute when Peachy scored. And then 10 minutes later we've got a try for Alexander. So the Blues with 2 converted tries. A comfortable break. Have been just those little signs that they too could be a little bit fragile in defence. And a knock on by Kevin Walters. Harrigan said play on. It was knocked forward. The referee obviously did. Sliding back into the field of play. Peachy is with it.
No surprise to see Wayne Bennett, and now Tim Sheen's getting some fresh troops into the action. That was Matthew Adamson getting out for the Blues, replacing Ben Lazarus. So a little bit of a reshuffle in the forward pack. I think we'll see some Queenslanders off the bench very shortly.
Matt Adamson charging at them. 19 out. Gower down the right for Howe. Howe a punishing run again. Gower. Away he goes. A good slippery run. 15 metres of it. Is that Adamson in the play again? Yes, his second in 3 tackles. He was there with his hand up. A bit of youthful exuberance. Then it's Daly. Inside ball. David Furner. Quick response from Alexander. And then it's with Girdler. And he's able to get a ball out the back for Peachy. Knock on Blue. But there's the call of Bill Harrigan. Little knock on against the Blues.
Still pretty confident stuff from New South Wales, isn't it? Tremendous play the ball from Rodney Howe. That enabled Craig Gower to find some space up the middle. Little step opened up some more space for Matthew Adamson. Eventually Ryan Girdler coming up with the mistake. And there are the fresh troops going on. That looks like Peter Ryan getting his first touch.
So this is Webke, 17. As both coaches make changes, first in the game. Cunningham it is who plays it. Langer across, Walters in. And O'Neill it is who plays it near enough to the halfway line. Webke joins in again.
I've got to say, I don't know how you're coping with it, but from a distance there is absolutely no way known to pick up the Queensland numbers.
They're not easy. As Langer rolls it in, gets a kick in again. Good stuff by Alfie. Then Queensland, they chance the hand.
6 again.
6 more tackles touched in flight. Langer's there. Then Walters. On it goes now to Matt Rogers. And marked up there by Laurie Daly. 15 metres away from the Blues line. Peter Ryan back in the centre of the park. That's where Langer would like it. Here he is now. Turns it in. Cunningham looks on the inside. No runners inside or outside. Steve Walters one pace, then passes. And it's out now to Kevin. Back now and away from Steve. Then for Langer. Goes for the little kick. Big in goal. Nagas loses it. Race for the ball. Peachy swoops upon it like an eagle. Then he extends out to the 10-metre line.
Yes, unfortunately for New South Wales, Bill Harrigan has called a knock-on from Ken Nagas in the in-goal area. After the players still haven't realised. got to say, almost an overconfident effort from that man, Ken Nagus, in picking the football up. Never had control of it. Really, that's a situation where you've got to dive on the football. What about this run? He didn't know that the play had been called up.
Glad to see the young blokes really like Peachy having a go when the ball is on the ground, picking up with one hand, playing right to the level with the whistle of the referee.
So this line dropout from New South Wales, not having the quality of the one from Greg Alexander about 7 minutes back. It puts Queensland into very good field position as their second tackle expires, 21 out, and it's Langer on the right, then Kevin Walters, then the runaround, and Langer put away. Alexander, the two sevens, keeping a watchful eye on one another. As Cunningham gets rid of Greg Alexander, unloads for the running Steve Walters, and he's down 10 metres out from the line. Langer goes into acting half, scoots away, 5 metres from the line, 5 tackles gone, down 12-0. Cunningham into the hands of Kevin Walters, he steps, gets it back, there's a chance on for Queensland, they lose it. Desperation tackle by Ettinghausen.
A real try-saver there from E.T. Dangerous stuff from Queensland. Again, the second set of 6 they've had down here. Kevin Wallace threw the dummy on the last. Darren Smith offloading to Julian O'Neill, and a timely tackle at Manoa and New South Wales centre.
Rodney Howe gets his first rest period as New South Wales bring it away off their 20-metre line. It is Gillies and Lazarus. Impressive debut for the young Penrith hooker. Craig Gow, he's really slotted in there. He's picked the opportunity to run. Very professional.
And that's been the thing about his performance, Ray. He hasn't tried to do too much. He's just been prepared to wait until the likes of Lazarus or Howe could put a dent in the opposition. And then when the obvious space opened up, he's taken it. He's just prepared to get good service away. Good step there. Well tackled by Kevin Walters.
Peachy then. For his captain to kick. Daly goes high. Underneath it is Wendell Saylor. And he's 15 metres out from his own line. Ryan at acting half. And that is Jeff Bell. Renoff. In the scarcity of Renoff. Probably that's unfair to him. The ball has mainly gone to the right of the ground.
Brad Thorne looks to come back on. It is noticeable that David Peachy, at fullback, good ball, is playing a little bit flatter in defence now after the quality of the Alan Langer grubber kicks.
There's Langer probing, gets it away. O'Neill with a juggle, a regather, and he's still going. 12 metres out from the line. 5 tackles. Now it goes from Darren Smith through now. Coming back as Peter Ryan. Got away from the shoulder tackle. It goes loose and Alexander comes up with it, but the referee has ruled a knock on against the Blues, I do believe.
New South Wales were hoping there that the referee was going to think it came off Alexander's knee, but he said there was some hand involved. And you think that Queensland would go very, very close to putting some points on here against the tiring New South Wales defence. A lot of possession in the last couple of minutes for the Queenslanders.
You see the introduction of Solomon Hamono, so I think he's trying to stiffen up the fence up around that ruck area.
Best opportunity so far here for Queensland now as Kevin Walters is able to get it away. Great strength in the tackle. Renoff a metre from the line. Steve Walters looking for the call. Langer responds, then the dummy and the step. Gillies is there with Matt Adamson. Still they're only 7 metres out as Steve Walters passes for Julian O'Neill. Played 5/8 for the Maroons in an Origin match, and then it goes back and across for Cunningham, and Cunningham is put down. Still with a couple of tackles remaining. It's Steve Walters, dangerous as he is from that position, playing it back and away from Cunningham for Langer to turn it in, and again they're short by a metre. This is the last. Langer's on the right of the ground. He's with it now.
and he gets the pass away beautifully. They're going to score. Wendell Sailor goes in to pick up the first Queensland try.
Yeah, well, you see Wendell Sailor go in the corner, and Ryan Girdler really comes out of the line too early, puts a lot of pressure on himself. Great ball here by Alfie. A short ball there to Darren Smith that picks him up on the outside, but I think Ryan Girdler really did not take anyone whatsoever.
Yeah, I guess he had to make a decision, didn't he? They had no numbers out there. It was really a matter of time. So much possession for Queensland. Darren Smith running onto a beautiful ball from Alan Langer, and a selective pass. He could have taken Jeff Bell. We saw that Wendell Sailor was in the better position through the cutout pass.
It's being played at a pace, Wiz.
It certainly is. I would have, as a player, loved to be involved in something like this, but it never was around. But in the Tri-Series, the place it has been playing, probably I'm better off sitting up here with you.
Yeah, you'd have still been back on halfway. Talking to me.
Probably be refereed it.
One thing about that chair you're sitting in, you are the whipping boy, you understand? Matt Rogers, 23 out, pulling it off the line there. So 12-4.
And this is the defensive play that Gary Freeman is talking about. As we freeze it there, you can see that Ryan Girdler has raced up very quickly. A short ball to Darren Smith into that hole. Straight away, Jeff Bell and Wendell Sailor out wide. They know that something's about to unfold for them.
Just a reminder that following this match, you'll see the game from Campbelltown, Western Newcastle. So the kickoff comes back with the Blues. Lazarus playing against 10 of his teammates. But then Glenn Lazarus is used to this.
He certainly has every year. He does this, doesn't he? He turns up and takes the ball forward for New South Wales, but I always said it's been nice and tough out there, and just go look at Julian O'Neill's jersey. Just leaves the calf off.
Gower hit by the opposite number 9, Steve Walters. Strong in that tackle on Gower. I fancy a little exchange of words as Alexander sends it down towards the 10 metres for Julian O'Neill to come back with this extravagant action. Gets one of those arms, the arm not carrying the ball obviously, pumping away. Sailor. Strong. Brad Thorne. Get rid of the pressure pass. Gee, I thought it went forward.
So the referee saying no, it went backwards first. I see that again.
Well, I can't argue with that. If it does go backwards first and bounces forward, it's not declared a forward pass. As Darren Smith plays it near that touchline on the cricket ground side of the football stadium.
Great tackle here by Solomon Ramono, that's for sure, put him right on their backs.
Peter Ryan. It'll be interesting to see if Ramono can put on one of those bulldogging runs that he's become almost famous for with his club side Canterbury. David Peachey scored the first try at the 8th minute. The 18th minute saw Alexander. And then at the 29th minute, Queensland put first points on the board through Sailor. Halfbacks have been outstanding. Darrell on the sidelines again.
Yeah, Rab, some huge problems for Queensland here. Gordon Tallis, left knee, big problem. He's shaking his head. I don't think he'll be back. Also on those numbers, I agree with you. We commented on that when that side ran out. We've talked to Queensland. They're thinking about putting a very big maroon border around them. So they heard your call, fellas. But Tallis in a lot of trouble.
That's bad news for Gordon Tallis. Shocking news, really. As Ryan runs inside off Daly, takes it to the 10. Pulled down 8 out, 5 gone. They need to quick play the ball. Eddinghausen, Lazarus, Daly puts the kick in, and it comes down with Queensland. This could be a penalty.
I've got absolutely no doubt that they went the wrong way.
It hits your foot, but it hits his body who's in front of you. I've got an accidental offside, we have a scrum. He was in front of you.
I think if you have a look, sorry Wiz, back at the play of the ball there, if they'd have come to the left They really had an overlap. In fact, the reaction from the players on this side of the field was one of disbelief.
And soon as we go back to the play where Sean Ryan made that break, and Brad Thorne did a great job of making sure that ET didn't get through and backing him up, because it would certainly be a try.
But I tell you what, that's not a ruling you hear very many times in rugby league. Accidental offside as we find New South Wales with Daly. Daly gets it away. Eddinghausen. Andrew Eddinghausen scores, but the captain, he owns the try. 16-4.
Yeah, great work there by Laurie Daly, and as we were saying before the game, he had to have a big one tonight, and he certainly has here. He takes the Queensland defence on, play ball hanging him up, and the ET going for a well-deserved try there. Could have scored earlier.
Yeah, oh so easy that one, but have a look at Steve Renoff. He's the centre on the left of this shot in headgear. There he slips, and that opened up the hole for Laurie Daly through the clutches of Kevin Walters. Julian O'Neill was committed by Daly. He won't score an easier try than that, ET.
Well, he's quite an incredible player, this man, Andrew Eddinghausen. A lot of people have commented about the few times that he actually touches the football in some of his games, but most times are quality touches. Running off Daly, what a great pass.
Glad all the time that he never used to touch it, that's for sure, because he's pretty hard to catch when he's in full flight.
Ryan Girdler. Not such a difficult kick, but he's in his first big one. And 18 metres out, 10 metres off centre, got it nicely. And so, 18-4, New South Wales leading by 14.
This will show up the Steve Renoff slip over very nicely as Daly goes forward. We freeze it there. There you can see Steve Renoff, the unfortunate man. That opened up the hole for Daly. Julian O'Neill coming across, but ET, bang, no problems at all. And again, you've got to say that Jeff Bell dropped off a little bit early as well. I don't think he could have come up with a try-saving tackle, but you can't overread in state football.
Darryl Eastlake's on the sidelines tonight. What's the update on Gordon Tallis?
As predicted, Rabs, Gordon Tallis has finished his night's work, which is a shame because he was playing very well up to that point. Chris McKenna in 16 is going to come on as the permanent replacement. So bad luck for Tallis, big break for McKenna.
Shane Webke on the end of a very heavy charge from Solomon Homono in defence. They bounced off each other. And Ryan it was who played it before it went along the line and misdirected. Renoff has to turn. Eddinghausen swoops. 40-metre line underneath the Maroons. They haven't really... This could be... I was thinking it might have been a penalty. There looked to be two players in the tackle. But Lazarus is with it. Harrigan obviously ruling that they lost it of their own accord. This is Homono. And then able to unload. David Furner capitalises. Taken by Steve Walters, blocking down the centre. Gower then. And then Lazarus. He's taking Adamson with him. Gower back into dummy half, getting Adamson out of the road. Alexander takes it down the left of the ground. Puts on a spurt, gets it away. Girdler right. Here's a chance. Oh, not a chance. This is easy stuff. The Canberra winger Nagus has put it over the line. And 22-4.
Well, whatever Greg Alexander has taken for this broken bone in the foot, I want some of it. Just have a look at the blinding acceleration that still exists to get outside that man, commit the centre and create the overlap. Beautiful quick hands from Ryan Girdler as well. A simple try, but it wasn't simple in its execution. It was just done so well to make it look easy.
As you say, Alexander really just puts the foot down here, gets past Webke. Puts on a great ball here to Ryan Girdler. He's had a great game so far tonight. Just catching past the Nagus. There's only a short distance here. Ryan Girdler in the back there putting the arms up. So thank you very much for that one.
Well, they made that look just so simple. Giving Girdler his most difficult shot. The Queenslanders call a committee meeting. Adamson, just a short period out there. David Furner comes off with him, but Adamson, a bit surprised he's been brought off as quickly as all of that. Goldthorpe and Robbie Ross back there, the hand clapping all round. Robert Finch up the back there. Here's Girdler. 22-4, 5 tries, 4 of them to the Blues. This young side, led by Lazarus, Daly, Eddinghausen, and the kids, if you like, Ferner, of course, the kids really put their hands up. This kick looks okay. Oh, bad luck for Girdler, but he's having a big game. We're near half-time, 22-4, another look at it.
Quite simply, Greg Alexander has created this. We freeze it there. You can see that he's beaten Webke. That's the man there. That forces Jeff Bell in. He doesn't want to, and by him coming in, all of a sudden the overlap is opened up. Simple. Alexander draws Bell. Beautiful catch and pass from Ryan Girdler. And Ken Nagus, he's as happy as Andrew Eddinghausen was in the last try. They didn't have much to do.
Alexander starts us again. Gary Freeman, what about the artwork of Sterling tonight? I mean, exemplary.
That's pretty good stuff sitting up in the box watching him work.
Now it's Brad Thorne who brings it 25 metres away from his own line. Stevie Walters a dummy half, a running Shane Webke. And he's got no problems with his performance so far. Steve Walters tries to step. He gets away from Lazarus. And then Kevin Walters is there to follow his brother to the 42-metre point. Steve Walters is back there to the halfway line, taken by Daly. And there's the ball down for Steve Renoff. Renoff looking for some space. Mono's hitting with his back teeth. And we have got a problem. We have got a problem for Steve Renoff. Paul Mono is getting the embrace of players, congratulatory embrace of players. But poor old Steve Renoff. My goodness, that was a hit.
It certainly wasn't. You see him here. Rabs takes the ball forward and Ramona comes out of nowhere. He was gone before he hit the ground there, that's for sure.
Let's just have a look. I don't think that there's any problem with the swinging arm. He's missed with the arm. He's done all the damage with the shoulder. That is just a superb tackle. It looked clumsy at the end of it. It looked as though it was high, but the arm swinging hasn't done the damage.
Was there just a hint of maybe the head coming onto the side of Renoff's head?
That's the way I saw that front on view there, was his head's actually collected. Doesn't matter if you've got headgear or not, the big fella there. I think he'll go and come off second best. As you watch it again, just puts his head, boom, straight off the jaw.
That's what it is.
Well, Mono's hit him with the top of the dome of the cranium, or whatever you call it. Fatty calls it the melon. Renoff is okay. He's conscious. He's a very sick boy, but oh, that was sickening.
Yeah, major concern over here with the jaw, you would imagine. Blood coming from the mouth, that's no surprise. Let's hope that Steve Renoff is okay and just badly concussed.
Now, Bill...
I didn't see any hit. I saw an arm swing across the top. I didn't see any connection on the head. I'm going to put the tackle on report, but because the ball was lost and I didn't call at that time, we're going to put a scrum down. It's attacking team. Okay? Let's go. No, Blue.
So he's going to give the ball to the attacking team, which of course is Queensland.
Look, he's changed his mind. He'd given the ball back to New South Wales. Two halfbacks here arguing who's going to have the ball.
No, I tell you what he's done. I'll tell you what he's done here by the attacking team. He's talking about the attacking team according to territory, I think. Just hang on.
Call time on.
Time's still off, you got no worries.
No, well, hang on. New South Wales are on the defensive end of the ground anyway.
Right,
no,
yeah.
that can't be right.
I just think he's made a mistake in saying who it was. He always intended New South Wales to have the football as the kick from Daly. Knocked on by Matt Rogers. But in the end, he's got the right decision on all counts. He's put the tackle on report just to be on the safe side.
So he's found a knock-on here against Matt Rogers. I doubt that it's going to matter because the time has expired and Bill Harrigan has called the end of a brilliant first half of football. If you like it fast and furious, they've presented it in Tri-Series 1. 5 tries, the Blues, Peachy, Alexander, Eddinghausen, Nagus, and Sailor for Queensland. 22 points to 4. 7-4 against they were. 5-2 on Queensland. And the Maroons are in deep trouble. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more from the Sydney Football Stadium in just a moment. And back live now at the Sydney Football Stadium, the Blues on their way back out, leading by 22 points to 4 and 4 tries to 1 in almost the perfect half of football for them. Outstanding work up front by, in particular, I thought, Rodney Howe. And the match, of course, specked with just that incident coming up to half-time with the damage done, I hope I'm wrong, but to the jaw or cheekbone of Steve Renouf. Daly would be very content, as would coach Tim Sheens be, with the effort and the scoreline. Queensland with their own mountain to climb now. Big start to give in anybody's language, but I keep going back to Manly and Sydney City only a couple of weeks ago before you start writing people off. Incredible first half in many ways, and it's just been pointed out, no penalties.
Yeah, very unusual to see any game of footy without a penalty in the first 40 minutes, that's for sure. But a couple of times I think Bill Harrigan could have got them for offside, but he's played the advantage and he's played it very well.
So, the Peter Perfects of rugby league.
Well, I think this has been a pretty perfect performance from the forward pack from New South Wales. They've shared it around beautifully, and Lazarus and Howe outstanding in the first 20 minutes. Rodney Howe didn't have a lot of game time after that. I'm sure that we'll see him at his block-busting best the first 20 of this second half. Well, I've got no doubt Owen Cunningham was the best for Queensland. 14 tackles and 10 hit-ups. And don't forget that Gordon Tallis won't be participating in this match any longer. So more responsibility on the shoulders of Webke and Ryan.
So Queensland then from right to left. Second half of the opening match of the Tri-Series, with Lazarus bringing it back just beyond the 20-metre line. 4 tries, the first coming at the 8th minute to the Cronulla fullback David Peachey, and this second half starting off just like the first. Lazarus twice now on this set of 6. Howe at least once, and then Alexander providing it wide for Daly. Daly got through, looks for runners. Girdler's on a sprint down the left of the ground, and a great tackle, great covering tackle there by Darren Smith, I do believe. They come back on the right, they're inside the 20-metre line. Alexander sprints 5 metres out, slows the pass, and Cunningham is there for him.
Well, it was the last tackle, so he had to do something at the end of it. They showed confidence in running the football on the last, but give credit to Queensland, they scrambled well. A tremendous tackle on Ryan Girdler on the far side. A fairly easy run for Laurie Daly to break the front line of defence once again.
Lazarus a little bit slow to come out of that tackle. It's Queensland now faced with prospect of getting it down the other end of the ground to start. Hopefully for them, the resurgence. Webke has been left on the park. No more Gordon Tallis tonight. And I will get you a report on Steve Renouf from Darryl Eastlake in just a moment. This is Matt Ryan, 22-4, second minute. The second half, Gordon Tallis with ice on that left knee as the Blues try to get around the Queenslanders on the halfway line. Gower, and now Howe, and Rodney Howe banged down on the 40-metre line by Andrew G. They've got numbers coming down the blind side. Ferner puts a fend on with the right hand, looks on the outside. Girdler was on the inside. Now they come across from Gower for Daly, and Daly around the back of Lazarus into the arms of Alexander. A long ball out for Peachey. Throws the dummy for Eddinghausen, takes the tackle. They're 20 metres away from the Queensland line. Ryan and then Alexander, a cut-out ball. Winds up with Gower. His pass to Gillies, the suspect. The
Stuck up by Eddinghausen, and Eddinghausen gets his second try. Beautiful support play. I've got to go back round. It was just a little hit of a forward pass, but this was superb support play.
Yeah, this is the pass coming up now from Clay Gower. It's a line ball decision, but a beautiful offload there from Simon Gillies, and there he is, the will-o'-the-wisp again. Andrew Eddinghausen doesn't feature in the play until running onto the football to score the try.
Great work here by Simon Gillies to get the ball back to ET there, but Greg Alexander again having a hand in that try, like getting that ball out very, very quickly to the outside players like Gower. Managed to put Gillies to a nice little hole there, and of course ET, once again, another 4 points on the board.
Well, let's not forget that this young man, Gower, made the transition from the number 7 to the number 9, and in that particular try, he called on his halfback skills, found himself in the first receiver position. He's done his job beautifully. And Eddinghausen gets his second try. He has scored a poultice of tries in representative football. Blood coming from that eye gash with Glenn Lazarus. Girdler, 15 in. Look at ground side of the SFS. Been hitting it beautifully. That is no exception. So 4 becomes 6. 28-4.
I do think it's no coincidence that New South Wales would like to run the football at Alan Langer in defence with the big man. Frees it there. You can see that's Simon Gillies coming onto it. That's Alan Langer in defence, and he goes high and it's ineffective. Allows to come out the other side. And Eddinghausen, he's just reacted to come from behind.
Play shot indicates to me that there was no problem with that pass. As Brad Thorne takes it 28 metres out from his own line. The margin 24. Penalty goes to Queensland.
That's the first. 45 minutes, 5 seconds.
It's just incredible at this level of football. As Peter said, very precisely, I might add. 45 minutes before we find a penalty. This is Cunningham, former Manly player. I think he holds the record of being the oldest debutant in Origin football. Owen Cunningham. Now Darrell's on the sideline. We'll go to him as Brad Thorne is able to run low, but Steve Walters overruns it. It came off the shoulder. Harrigan says play on. Queensland desperate for points. And here's the chance back for New South Wales. Adamson and Furner. Furner put down. Darrell on the sideline. Yes, mate.
Yeah, I've got a fair bit of news down here, Rap, so I'll keep behind the player and go through it. Now, New South Wales, Sterlo, you picked it. He wanted to run... Right, Jimmy Sheen said run at their halves. They're going to play catch-up football. There's going to be gaps there. Just run at the halves and run them hard. Keep them in your face all night, because once they come back, they'll come back hard. He said, we know what Queensland teams have done over the years. We don't want that to happen. He said, so I want you to be in their face all the time. Now, I've also spoken to the referee, Harrigan. He has put Hamono on report, but he didn't see the incident. As far as he's concerned, he thinks that's okay, but he is on report anyway. I'll just keep an eye on what's happening here. Now, as far as Queensland go, they're in a fair bit of trouble. Steve Renouf, it looks like a possible broken jaw, certainly a crack down the front of his chin, and he's also got concussion, but they think a possible fractured jaw. Paul Green will go on as a permanent replacement, and that means they're back down to 15 players now, and all Wayne Bennett would say to me is that I've told them to keep their heads up and remember they're Queenslanders.
Okay, Darrell, thank you for that. The news not good then on Steve Renouf. Certainly not good on Gordon Tallis. Steve has got a broken jaw and he's going to have a long recovery period in front of him again. I don't think it's the first time that he's suffered an injury like that. This is Darren Smith, and now Julian O'Neill. The pass knocked on. Rod Rogers facing the other way, I understand, but it's been deflected down the other end of the ground. It's a knock-on.
Well, one thing that is certain, the remaining 40-odd minutes of this game, is it's going to be exciting stuff from the Maroons. They're in a position now where they've got to try and score a lot of points very quickly. So they're going to take a few chances not normally associated with state football.
New South Wales lucky to get away with the scrum out from Matty Ryan and actually touch that ball. Ball was knocked on by Anthony Rogers.
Rogers disputing the call of Bill Harrigan. There's no area for dispute. Matt Ryan has taken it where they want it. Slow to get up. Howe. His job made more difficult by the slow play the ball. Gala slides away on the right. You can see by the way he moves that he's a class act. Alexander's pass held up to the last moment. Gillies, Alexander, oh, he's got them again. Alexander, well, he's pulled out his own ragtime band here tonight. Heavens above, he's playing every instrument out there.
And playing them very much in tune. But you put this down to the speed of the play of the ball. Absolutely no way known that a defence can react against that. And he could have thrown it to Ryan Girdler to score the try just as easily, but he made a bird of it, getting it to the ball to Nagus.
Yeah, poor old Wendell Saylor, not really known who to take after this tackle here. Like you said, gets up very quickly, plays the ball out, gets it out wide. As you said, there's Girdler out there and Nagus. A number of players could have scored that try.
Nagus gets his second. Ettinghausen's got a couple. New South Wales are carving Queensland up in the opening of the Tri-Series. And that would be tough going on as a permanent replacement when you look up at the scoreboard, 32-4.
Yeah, you'd be wondering, how am I going to turn this team around? What do I have to do? As we said before, they're trying to throw the ball around Queensland now, but they're forgetting to go forward first.
What a magnificent comeback to rep football for Greg Alexander.
He hasn't been there for something like 6 years, and I think you'll find that he's only played about 6 state games, never been on a winning New South Wales side.
Well, I'm just thinking, of course, Greg Alexander picked up where Peter Sterling left off at Fairfield Patrician Brothers all those years ago. It's Girdler now, a metre in from touch, and he's missed it. So he is human, Girdler, 32-4.
We'll freeze this play just there straight away because the speed of the play, the ball, like Wendell Saylor's the widest man, 3 players could have scored, but put it down to this man here, Simon Gillies. So quick to play the ball. Greg Alexander, well, in those situations, is going to be a try 10 out of 10.
The Blues give it back to Queensland. Nothing's improved here for Wayne Bennett or Queensland. 6 tries now. 2 in the second half. A second half that is only 11 minutes old. On the sideline, Darryl Eastlake again.
Yes, Roberts, I mean, Wayne Bennett made a point that Queensland have never ever been brittle that close to their line, and I tell you what, I've never seen them so brittle that close to the line. This New South Wales team is sensational from 10 metres out, but Green has gone on, so they're down to 15. If they get any more injuries, hey, big trouble for the banana benders.
Brittle at dummy half, but the one thing that this Queensland side have got to do now is that they've got to be prepared to be penalised in those instances. I think the players have got it in their head that the referee is just going to be on their case the whole time about quick play the ball, quick play the ball. You can't allow quick play the balls in this type of football. And they've just got to be prepared to give away a couple of penalties in that ruck area now.
Yeah, well, that was a fear that Ricky Stewart, I think, was alluding to today in one of the newspapers.
Ray, I've never seen a state game where a second rower takes the ball to a metre from the line and he's allowed to get up and play the ball as quickly as he likes. No struggle whatsoever for Simon Gillies to get up there at all.
Yeah, of course, that is going to breed that word that Darryl's talking about, brittleness. As David Furner loses it, and he's lost it cold. So here's a half a chance for Queensland.
David Furner here just just gets up there and loses it. This stage here, I think they've got to try and they've got to have a go, try and score tries. Get the ball out.
Yeah, well, caution.
Throw caution to the wind.
It's not in their dictionary anymore, is it?
Not at 32-4.
So it's Queensland then with this opportunity. And Kevin Walters. It's Cunningham. Nice offload for O'Neill to reach the 20-metre line. They've only been across it once, and that was per medium of Wendell Saylor. Ryan plays it. Langer sweeps it across. And then O'Neill's pass on the bounce for Matt Rogers. Now that kick has come off the legs of the Blues, who didn't play at the ball, I believe.
It's a reflection.
And that will see the Blues get the loose head and feed under the new rules.
I'd be a little bit disappointed if you were the winger, because if it got past Matty Ryan, I think Matthew Rogers had enough speed to pick that ball up and probably score a try.
Scintillating form this year, Matt Rogers, but it probably hasn't been the happiest of nights for him in the fair dinkum department. They worry about protocol in scrums with WMA, but anyway. The Blues with the crowd riding them home now. Girdler.
Looks untidy with head sticking out of scrums, Ray. Beautiful there. They can't get the half.
I wouldn't mind if the hooker could even see the ball. Why worry about the damn protocol? Anyway, the Blues sweeping it around, keeping it alive. This is Sean Ryan. 30 metres away from the Queensland line, and a problem for a young Cronulla player who's had, as I said earlier to you, very, very unfortunate period in his football career since '93. 3 shoulder reconstruction and missed a couple of years of football. Langer, not much of him, but he's hitting with the full weight.
Full weight of what, 78, 79 kilos, that big Alfie, but he's put his head on the ground pretty hard. Come off second best as the big Ryan. Back row's been outstanding for New South Wales tonight, hasn't it? Sean Ryan will be very happy with his first game in the blue colours. I think David Furness has been great, and so too Simon Gillies, of course, who came into this game replacing Brad Clyde.
Alexander then, immediately to the air, and the bounce favours the Blues. They not only favoured by the bounce, they get the bat down. They want to be careful, they'll kick a goal at the other end of the park. Now they put a kick in the right direction at least, and it's gone over the touch-in goal.
Well, it's one thing that Queensland hasn't done too well is actually goal for the ball, as we talked about at half-time, Sterlo. No one really committing to try and catch that ball. I don't know how the Swans are going next door, but I hope they're kicking better than Rodney Howe.
Saylor's gone in closer to the play, and he's lost it. Harrigan will put a scrum down. Inside the 40-metre line, nothing happening for them. Just watching to see what happens here. I just think he lost it cold. Keeping in mind, in a one-on-one situation, you can steal the ball in the new rules. Daly then, beautiful pass across for Girdler. Girdler taken down by his opposite number, Jeff Bell. Peachy waits for Homono. 30 metres out now from the Queensland line. Matt Ryan, and he's left it behind him, and that'll be play on with Rogers gathering in possession for Queensland. O'Neill up in the back line. 30-metre line. Green a dummy half. Andrew G. pulled down by Gillies and Howe. Standing very flat in defence. Certainly right up on the 10-metre line, they had to be. Now Langer. 32-4. Langer, particularly out on Langer, I don't think he's ever been on the end of a scoreline like this.
The one thing that'll be disappointing for Queensland is that the New South Wales side is really holding them down so well that they're setting their defence line a lot quicker than the Queensland can set theirs.
Alexander running across, winger on the right, had nobody on him. They tried to get it across there quickly. Eddinghausen, it's a penalty.
Paul Green coming into the Queensland side for the duration of this game. Imagine he's gone into the hooking role. He's playing dummy half in their attackers. Against Queensland pushing Matt Ryan back onto the ground. And that would see Steve Wallace being used as a running forward, probably slotting into the back row.
Rodney Howe, he hit the line at full speed and came out the other side to the 40-metre line. Gower, dummy half. And then from Alexander, Lazarus with that head bandage on now. Gower for Daly. Daly sweeps it back to the other side of the park where it's Alexander working with Hormono. Played by Solomon. Gillies taking that pass right on the advantage line. Gower again. To the red zone goes Alexander. Then Daly. And Daly's pass goes over the sideline. Just looking to see if there was a touch there.
The Queensland player. Again, accidental, so it will be the Queensland feed.
Struggling on that left-hand side, aren't they, Queensland, in the offence? Greg Alexander going to the line and just picking up runners at will.
Neil in his back line. David Peachey responds by being there to meet him and greet him. And Queensland get it 35 metres out from their own line. Matt Rogers meets the grass again. Away from Green for Webke. Again, a case of a player losing his footing more so than being tackled. As Green reaches the 40-metre line in New South Wales' area, they put it through 3 sets of hands. Darren Smith has been put down heavily. He's taken a very heavy knock to the head. The ball comes away with Ken Nagus, and Nagus hit by the Queensland defence 40 metres out. Darren Smith is still down in back play where his head hit the ground. Now, Bill Harrigan's given a penalty to New South Wales. The trainers are out there with Darren now. Now gone in the game, 32-4. We saw Darren Smith taking a very heavy knock to the head, and that's what worries you when you see it happen again. It was at Belmore on a Saturday night against Cronulla a few years ago now. Those players that have had heavy concussion, I think head knocks are even a little bit more dangerous for them. Same applies to his brother Jason, really. In a State of Origin match one night, I think he was on the end of an Ian Roberts hit at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Daly, Gillies, and the confidence is sky high. They're putting it together in razzle-dazzle style, but that one came horribly unstuck. This one will go down about 15 away from the Queensland line.
And of course, coming up later in the season is a match against New Zealand International. So some jerseys up for grabs there, and there's been plenty of players in this New South Wales side have staked quite a claim this evening.
It's just that they don't play this well when they go against the Kiwis in their tri-series Sterling.
Probably won't have to.
Christian Kenner has done some very good things for his club side this year. Of his own admission, he's being allowed to play in the position that he relishes most. Back at the scrum. Cunningham has been very strong in a beaten side. Steve Walters getting away from Alexander. Langer on. Kevin Walters is with it, but everywhere they go now there's a blue jumper. Not one but two.
They're really setting up their defence very well as the New South Wales side, and going out as many times as they can.
David Peachey put his body in front the flailing feet, bringing in that rolling ball to again put New South Wales back on the attack. Langer trying the little grubber kick and the regather. It didn't come off for him. This is Adamson, 10 metres into opposition territory. And Lazarus now underneath all of that. Gower, Alexander, Penrith combination has been outstanding. Talking of that, and Girdler's pass goes across from Daly, and then Gower. Harrigan was on the spot. He ruled the pass from Girdler, didn't go forward. McKenna dives on it for Queensland.
They just took the wrong option there. Craig Gowrie had plenty of numbers on this side of the field. Very different outlooks now from both of the coaches of these sides. Tim Sheens will be very keen for New South Wales to go on with this, not get scrappy in the last 20 minutes. Or Wayne Bennett must realise that this game is out of their grasp. But he's got to get something to build on for the next Tri-Series game that they will be involved in. So he needs them to finish strongly.
One thing they will have to build on is their defence. We said before, it's been pretty bad in certain aspects of their game.
Green, one-handed pick up, and then he scurries down the blind side, puts the kick over the head, and the bounce beats Peachy, and I think they've gone in for their second try. It'll be given. No, he's ruled he lost it. Paul Green.
Super work out of dummy half there by Paul Green. Kicked over Peachy's head. He got an awful bounce, David Peachy. Then Paul Green, well, very difficult to pick it up, but the referee had no doubts that he didn't get downward pressure over the try line.
That's right, Peter. I think you find any downward pressure he might have had was all happening in the field of play. So Ken Nagus, who has scored 2 tries, brings it away. David Peachy, the scorer of 1, is out now to the 30-metre line. 32-4. 64th minute of the game, and that is Furner. Adamson.
Matty Adams has played extremely well since he's been coming off the bench a few times there, taking the ball forward. Gillies wouldn't be too happy with that. He's played extremely well.
Western Newcastle coming up after this one. 6 tries to 1.
Well, I think both sides going into their next match really have got to be prepared to test the patience of the referee a little bit more. The very fact we didn't have a penalty in the first 40 minutes of this game has shown that the sides weren't prepared to hold the opposition down and try and slow their play down, which is something that, you know, when the scoreline's getting away from you, you've just got to resort to those kind of tactics.
Jeff Bell. McKenna. And again it's gone the ground off the feet of the Blues. Homono is with it. Goldthorpe has gone on. Gower has come off.
Come on, back over there. Okay, over here, back with me.
Just inside the red zone. Adamson. Second tackle, Bill Harrigan calling them back to 10. Enormous strain on the athleticism of the players endeavouring to play this new brand of football. Peter's already pointed out one way it may be overcoming it, and that is to test the referee's patience a bit more. This is a good bullocking run by Peter Ryan. Strong player. Langer comes up on the blind side. Over there by Jeff Bell. Cross from Steve Walters. The pass was a bad one behind his brother. 12 metres out. That's where they are, the centre. Langer again. Fairly slow play the ball. And then they try to slice through with O'Neill. He got a pass away. McKenna dives in. But it's gone forward. We'll see New South Wales with the loose head and speed. And no doubts that it did go forward off the hands of Julian O'Neill.
I start to sound like a broken record, but the work done by Glenn Lazarus off the ball for a big man is just quite superb. Julian O'Neill racing onto a Paul Green pass there. The big fella just threw himself and he forced the error. Some of the clean-up work is just marvellous for such a big man.
It's Matt Ryan coming off this right wing, taking the first one away, and why wouldn't he? He's a big man. A lot of centre and full-back for the Canterbury club. Howe. Goldthorpe. Then Adamson. Ryan trying to get a shot on him. Lazarus. And they're almost to the halfway line. The last tackle. Alexander gets in a low, raking kick. It goes across that touchline. Down near the 10.
Gary, looking at future matches and the composition of this Queensland side, we don't want to second guess too much, but in the front row you've got Brad Thorne, who has basically been turned into a front rower. Andrew G, more of a grafter, I suppose. They haven't had the same punch as the likes of Howe and Lazarus. Is that an area that you think that they've really got to turn around and maybe look to put someone else there to get some more forward momentum?
Well, when you look at those two players that you did mention, Sterlo, they go on the opposite side. Lazarus does all that for them in their own team. It's a sort of player that they are missing. It will go forward for them, but I thought Rodney Howe, as you said, has been outstanding. His go forward has been tremendous all around the park.
I think the problem, Peter, probably comes back to who have they got?
Well, that's the thing. You don't make changes for the sake of doing so. But I really do think that, that's again been the platform for New South Wales, is the fact that the big men gone forward, made a lot of yards, got good play, the ball's going, and all of a sudden the job for Greg Alexander and the like it's so much easier.
Sterlo, those big fellas are going forward and making that quick yardage. Being a halfback.
Maybe this is the bloke.
Webke undoing some good work by losing it. Goldthorpe retrieving possession for the Blues, and here's Peachy.
1, 2, 3. Once he makes his wind up, he's got to go one way or the other. He comes back 3 times.
Phil Harrigan putting the shepherding or the obstruction rule on David Peachy. The crowd, incidentally, 26,731 here at the football stadium tonight, Rugby League headquarters. 26,731, and that was the 4th penalty only in 70 minutes of football. 28 points in arrears. Can they shut that gap down just a little bit? Webke has been as good as any of their forwards, really. Brad Thorne straining to get centimetres closer to that line. It's only been broken the once. Peter Ryan goes for it, gets it across, and Peter Ryan scores the second Queensland try.
Unfortunately for the Maroons, too little too late. Peter Ryan looking to get a start in the run onside. The defence rushing up on Alan Langer, and again, probably the only time through the course of this match that the New South Wales inside defence was a little bit lazy. There you see Matt Adamson, he stops. In fact, it's Kevin Wallace who throws the pass back inside, and a lot of room found by Peter Ryan because the Blues defence didn't move up and in towards where the football had gone.
A little bit harder to be enthusiastic when you're 32 points in front and make sure that you do move up that line around that ruck area, but a good little play there by Walters to pick up Ryan. So we'll have to work on the next couple of games. Come up against New Zealand and maybe come up against the side, maybe the semis.
Just on what Peter was talking about earlier with their front row, Peter Ryan and Shane Webke have both put their hands up. I'm not saying that Ryan's a front rower, but they've certainly put their hands up to run on maybe in the next encounter.
It's pretty difficult to make Thorne, I think, a front rower. Watch the replay once again with Walters just hanging off to Ryan. Matty Adamson and Peachy trying to hold him up over the try line. Just get too much pace up the big fella.
Neil restarts. New South Wales leading by 22 with 8 minutes of the match remaining. Mono. Forced down just beyond the 30-metre line. Noel Goldthorpe. Rodney Howe. They come back down the line side now with Adams, and certainly a second half that hasn't had the spectacular tries of the first, but again I think coming back to the pace of the game, they can only endure or provide it for so long.
That's one thing, everyone does get tired out there, but I think both sides have put on a great game of football here tonight. New South Wales, I think, played exceptionally well on that first opening 40 minutes and come away with a great victory.
Well, they'd certainly shut the gate on them by half-time, Gary, even though there's always that question mark when you're dealing with opposition that includes the Langers. Gee, this is a strong New South Wales side, and I do think this enthusiasm of the youngsters in the side has probably been the major reason. Apart from Greg Alexander's influence on the game, Peter Ryan running onto a ball that went forward. Bill Harrigan went backwards. And Robbie Ross goes on in jumper number 15. Matt Ryan coming off.
Nice to see Tim Sheens getting his fresh troops for a little bit of a taste of state football. Robbie Ross, Noel Goldthorpe, been used in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but they'll appreciate the fact that they can go out and enjoy some of this. Laurie Daly bumps off one defender, offloads to Ryan Girdler, just confronted by 2 or 3.
6 minutes left, and Nagus. Good work by Nagus. Furner's there. Furner running over the top of Paul Green. Goldthorpe takes a quick look. The call is on the right. Daly is there. Eddinghausen now. Pushed across for Lazarus. Alexander back inside. Eddinghausen! Did he get it down? If he did, it's number 3. Indeed it is. Andrew Eddinghausen scores his 3rd try for the night.
He can sniff one out, can't he? And this is a little bit similar to the try scored at the other end by Peter Ryan. A little lazy defence back on the inside. Fatigue factor quite evident on both sides now. The ball back inside to ET. Good hit and spin out of the tackle. Reaches across. The referee, well, you can't get better position than that. What do you think?
Well, I think there's enough pressure there to suggest that it was downward. I mean, we're going to come back to this word control, aren't we? But the ball touching the ground, some part of the hand was there putting some downward pressure. And as you said, I mean, Bill Harrigan couldn't have had a better view of it. Could not possibly have had a better view.
Good work again by Alexander, turned that ball back inside, but ET just spit out of some easy tackles that should have been made, all going high.
How many tries have been scored? I know you probably can't answer this, but how many tries have been scored here that Alexander hasn't had a play? As Girdler puts another 2 points alongside his personal total. 38-10.
And the main priority of defence is to stop the football. We see 2 or 3 tackles involved and nobody wrapping the football up, and that allowed Eddinghausen to spin and turn. And in answer to your question, I think the only try that I can think where Greg Alexander wasn't involved was Laurie Daly going through from the scrum wing to offload to Eddinghausen for one of his tries. And he threw the pass to Laurie Daly.
I touched on it earlier, this comeback of Greg Alexander. It's just quite amazing, really. He seems to have been around for an eternity.
I think he made his grade debut in 1984 for Penrith, so he has been around a long time. Eddinghausen in 83, I think, was the only bloke around that time, so they certainly have been tremendous stayers.
And of course, one of the stumbling blocks in Alexander's representative career has been Alan Langer, so he would be getting a tremendous delight out of what's unfolding here at the Sydney Football Stadium for him tonight. An intercept attempt, something on the fall. Rogers able to get it back on the inside before the touchline was reached. Kevin Walters, Julian O'Neill. Thought their third try was coming. Maybe it will. No, they've not done a dummy half. Green scurried in, tried to pick it up and keep the play, keep the momentum going.
Good work by O'Neill really to get up and play that ball quickly. Just see Paul Green just knocking on that ruck area. He's too happy because there's a try gone big in there.
Just outside the 2-minute marker, Randy Alexander comes off. And he should get a rousing reception. The scene of some great moments for him, but 6 years ago now, Queensland coming up with it. Steve Walters and Owen Cunningham. Cunningham taking it to ground. Try line just a couple metres away. And then away from Walters. That is McKenna. The ball going backwards. And New South Wales, there's been a knock on by them as well. So it's become a little bit scrappy, particularly in the second half.
Well, I think the thing is that they're all trying to score tries, Queensland. They need to do them as quickly as possible. They're trying to force that last pass.
Winning the scrum. They wrap it around to the right. And Julian O'Neill has involved himself a lot in this game. He hasn't been frightened to come in from the back, and I think when they lost Renoff, he realised that he had to inject himself even more. Now Gillies goes away. It's understandable that Queensland are probably not controlling the football. They certainly have been taking chances for the major part of the second half because of the scoreboard.
Yeah, certainly because of the scoreboard, but I think a couple of times when they are going forward, they should just learn just to take the tackle and try and set up.
Yeah, straight away.
The other thing, Alfie is not really getting a lot of support from his players that aren't running into holes.
Gary Freeman, New Zealand captain, has been with us tonight, offering comments together with Peter Sterling. Paul will be at Campbelltown to present that next match. Magpies and Newcastle. Whether the Knights meet a similar destiny to the Eels a couple of weekends ago, as Rogers comes away in the spectacular fashion that we've grown accustomed. The siren is there, the whistle is there, and Tri-Series 1 at the Sydney Football Stadium over. Tim Sheens coached at state level in 1991 without success. Tonight, his Blues of Super League have provided him with a 28-point victory, which included 7 tries. 2003, Nagas 2, Peachy Alexander. Girdler got 5 from 7. And Queensland, they went across for 2 tries. Saylor and Peter Ryan. Andrew Eddinghausen 3. Daly, the leader. Alexander, the master. Just an overall superb effort by Tim Sheens' team. As Darryl Eastlake has been able to get with one of the stars of the match now. Yes, Darryl?
Yes, thank you, Roberts. Rodney Howe, what a moment for you. I mean, Western Australia, they'll be jumping up and down the spot.
I hope so, so will be.
Well, mate, you just had a great game. I mean, you went forward all night. You were everywhere.
Yeah, that's Tim just told us that's what we've got to do. So, you know, we come away with the points today, so it was great.
We've heard about the legendary Queensland defence like 4 or 5 metres out. Were you a bit disappointed? They looked a bit soft sometimes.
No, well, I think they played very well, but I give credit to our attack. You know, we played very well tonight, so hopefully in the next game we'll go better.
I mean, I couldn't believe the odds Queensland went into this game. I mean, did that niggle you guys through the week?
Yeah, they are obviously the favourites during their connections, but, you know, we're a bunch of young fellas willing to have a go.
You played sensationally. Well done.
Thanks, Darryl. Bye, mate.
Darryl, Rodney has said exactly what this match has done. It's provided some new faces with a shot at a state jumper. Andrew McKinlay is down there now with Alan Langer.
Thanks, Ray. Alan, a night where nothing went right.
Certainly didn't, mate, and it's very disappointing. Just the mistakes in our own half. Just put too much pressure on ourselves and we let the game get away from us.
Defence, very brittle in the red zone.
Very brittle, mate. It's something we'll have to work on.
Can you remember in a representative match ever being on the receiving end of such a scoreline?
I don't think I ever, it's, as I said, it's very disappointing. We had a great week of training and things just didn't work out tonight.
Do you think the Bronco combination actually went against you in the end?
Well, I don't think so, mate. I think the mistakes, we just can't afford to make errors in this sort of game. It's just too quick and our defence just didn't help.
Thanks, mate.
Andrew McKinlay there talking with Alan Langer. Andrew Eddinghausen got 3 tries. Is he still smiling, Darryl?
He's like a split watermelon. 3 tries, not a bad night's work.
Yeah, very enjoyable. I mean, you don't really know what to expect when you get out here. You just go out and do your best, and I was lucky to be on the spot 3 times, which was great. But our forwards really just played out, outstanding football, just kept hitting it up, and we had great possession. We didn't drop too much ball, and that was the victory.
They talked about the rookies in the side. The rookies really grew up quick.
They certainly did. 10 new faces, and I think every one of them really performed, very well. And Ryan Girdler had an outstanding game. The little hooker, he's only 18, and he played outstanding as well. And it was just a great all-round performance, and I think that's what Tim Sheens was after.
The thing that impressed me was the confidence that the young blokes went about. Obviously the hard heads, the experienced players, you led them around, but they played with so much confidence. They were prepared to try.
Yeah, that's right. Timmy Sheens had a very good game plan worked out, and we stuck to that, and we just kept persisting, and I think that was the key to it. You just got to continue to doing what the coach tells you, and if you do it well enough, you come out with a good victory sometimes, but we did it well tonight, so it was a great effort.
Hey, those legs of yours aren't getting any slower.
No, there's been a bit of talk about them getting slower, so I thought I'd see how they go tonight.
You went well. Good to see you back on the park, and good to see the Blue Jumper as a winner.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see the Blues up there. We were the underdogs going in, and we've come out, I'm sure, be close to favourites in the next one.
Well played.
Yeah, thank you, Darryl. Now, Owen Cunningham played strong in a side decisively beaten. He's with Andrew now.
On a night where nothing went right, Alan Langer said that earlier before. Would you agree with him?
Yeah, we just put down too much ball in our own half, and that's just inevitable,
It was a rare thing to see Queensland sides, representative sides, be so brittle, particularly in their red zone in defence.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. That's one of my positions, so maybe I should have a good look at myself.
Well, 25 tackles and 14 hit-ups, you were probably the best on a beaten side. How does it feel as a 30-year-old to be one of the oldest debutants in representative football?
I suppose it's something to be proud of. I can tell my grandkids about that, I suppose.
But not particularly proud of the scoreline tonight?
No, it was a pretty ordinary effort, I thought, by us. We'll just have to have a good look at it, and hopefully we can turn it around for the next game.
The modified play-the-ball rules, did that make the pace a cracking one, particularly in the first 15 minutes?
Yeah, they got a roll on, and because they spent a lot of time in our quarter, it was very hard to hold them out. If the boot was on the other foot, I'm sure it would have been hard for them to hold us out, but as it was, they got the start they did, and we never recovered.
Commiserations, Owen. We'll let you enjoy the rest of the night.
Thanks.
Wales Blues have taken a major step towards a finals berth in the inaugural Super League Tri-Series competition, defeating Queensland here 38 points to 10, 9 tries in all, 7 for the Blues, and Eddinghausen grabbed 3 of those. Ken Nager scored 2, Peachy and Alexander 4-pointers. Ryan Girdler played very well tonight and kicked well, 5 from 7, while for Queensland, Wendell Saylor and Peter Ryan scored tries. Matt Rogers just the 2 kicks at goal, of which he was successful with 1. A tremendous performance from the Blues. They really didn't have a bad performer, which always makes it difficult to pick the man of the match, but the man we chose as their best is with Darryl Eastlake.
Yeah, thanks, Strello. It gives me a lot of pleasure to see this fellow play so much good football over such a long time. He went and played on another shore in the same competition. He's come back, and of course he's come back to his old club, and he's come back to vintage form. Greg Alexander, what a game you've had.
Oh, mate, we just played so well. I think we blew them off the park in the first 20 minutes. Every opportunity we got to score, we scored, and our defence was so good all game.
Well, off the top of the show, we mentioned that you've come in with a wounded foot. That was the truth?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's been a bit crook the last couple of weeks, and it's pulled up a bit sore again. So I'll just wait and see what happens tomorrow.
Well, you've got a lot of ice packs on it. I know you're having difficulty walking on it at the moment. That's why you're sitting down. So you're really not going to know till it all cools down.
No, mate. I'm just so happy to be back, mate. It's so good to be playing representative football again. I never thought it would happen, and to be back at Penrith and playing state football. It's just so good.
I just think the rugby league fans are glad to have you back and playing the sort of football that you're playing. I mean, when you went away from us and you lived over there for a while, I mean, you were just an exciting player. You've had some exciting games for them, but to come back in representative football and just explode the way you have tonight is fantastic.
Yeah, I'd like to, thank the people that put the faith in me, to come back. I know the coach and the selectors. I suppose it was, I haven't played for 6 years in state football, and they put their jobs on the line in picking, the side, and I'd just like to, thank them for the faith they showed in me.
This young side, it's a ripper outfit.
Oh, mate, there's so many talented footballers. I know Queensland went in favourites with their combination, with their Brisbane combination, but when you look through the side player by player, mate, gee, we've got some talented talent.
The front row were just sensational.
Oh, mate, well, we've got the two best, go forward guys in the game with Lazo and Howie, and, you know that they'll never sort of take a backward step, and they'll always go forward for you, and, that's what give sort of me and Loz and Ryan Girdle and the backs some room.
All right, mate, well, $1,000 goes your way. Congratulations, Brandy. Have a couple of big ones of those tonight. Terrific to see you back in such great form.
Thanks, Daryl.
There he is, Stello. Great player, isn't he? And I tell you what, he's had a terrific night and backed up by such a solid team of